soon. Hiya.
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 Hiya, audience. Hello,
Hiya.
audience. Hello to
Hiya.
the audience.
It's going to be a thing we do every week now.
Yeah, maybe I'll add in some audience sounds. Yeah. I was going to add in a boo there.
Boo!
You don't have to add it in. I will add it in.
But what if you needed a really good clear one?
Okay, fair enough.
Boo!
Nailed it.
Is he saying boo or boo earns? I was saying boo earns. How are you? Are you well?
Good. Do we introduce ourselves? I don't know.
Well, this is a Patreon only episode, so at this rate, these lads. Well, not the whole episode isn't, but the video is.
Yeah.
So
those
yes.
those cheapskates don't get to see that we're buck naked right now.
Completely starkers. Yeah. Oh. Tooth right in the cup.
See,
You hate
anything goes on video. You could have seen that. You could have seen that tooth in the cup happening.
I have my phone here there, just so that I can a couple of notes.
I keep forgetting about notes. Keep coming in. I like to think about it as raw dogging it.
What would the so you think?
I feel like,
You
although
think-
I do feel like it's way more official now, and with the coffee and everything, I feel like I'm on to talk about a football match.
Well, let's talk about a football match. Did you see the football?
I did.
How was it?
It's fairly round, made of leather, I think.
Yeah, those are my favorite types.
Yeah.
Normally, yeah.
Sorry, you were going to say something before I interrupted you there.
I was just going to say, I made a few notes. One of which came into my head from another podcast during the week. Is there any food? This is why we use coasters, Mick. Do you see this now? Do you see this?
Again, it's not in shot. Oh, it is in shot. Fuck. I'll just hold it there.
Dirty
That's
hook.
completely natural.
He was sitting there with his coffee a minute ago as well, and I was looking at it in the cup. And it was just like flopping around. I was like, that's going to fall out. You're going to have to keep your hands there now for the whole show. Hope you're happy.
Yeah, well,
okay.
yeah.
Well,
It's better than this.
it's too memeable. I swear, what's going on?
What, with the plane overhead?
Full fucking. We're near an airport, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crack. Is there any food place in Oma that makes you think of home? Like, is there like what's your go-to? Like, that if you feel like if you had it anywhere in the world, you'd be like, home. What is it? Is it a kebab?
It's Giuseppe's Pizza right next door to McCann's Bar.
Oh, yes, I've heard about this.
Yes.
Apparently it's a world famous pizza.
Well, I think I haven't looked up exactly, but in my mind, it's equidistant between Italy and New York, the two pizza capitals of the world, and it shows.
In what way?
And it's fucking delicious.
Is
And
it-
they do vegan stuff now as well.
Is it so there's a Giuseppe's in Ards. Is it a franchise?
No. There's loads of like,
People who are like, Giuseppe
yeah,
sounds
just an
Italian.
Italian name will do grand. Like,
Antonio's was taken.
yeah, it used to be called Giovanni's actually.
I love
Then
that.
Giovanni was killed by Giuseppe
What do you reckon the top...
in a non-mob related
I
attack.
swear. What do you reckon the top 5 Italian male names are? Because
Giuseppe.
let me tell you, we're going to name our Italian place after whichever isn't being used right now. Let's see. Top 5 Italian male names. Let's see if Giuseppe's there. Oh, no. A couple of... Right. Okay. Well, according to Google, Giovanni is one.
Mm-hmm.
Leonardo is one.
Leo's Pizza Place could be,
Yeah,
could be a
Leo's.
goer.
Hey, welcome to Leo's.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Where are you from, Leo?
Hey. That's what lads who make pizzas.
I asked you a question, Leo.
Oh, Larn. Dante. You could call it Dante's
Dante's
Revenge.
Inferno,
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't
where we
read.
burn every pizza we make.
I don't read. Yeah. I hope you like your crusts crispy. Because it's the only way we
Here
know
at
how.
Dante's Inferno, we don't know how the oven works.
We don't have a thermometer. Is this hot? Just completely charred black hand. It's really hot.
Coffee went up my nose there.
Nice. Marco Polo apparently is in the top 5 of all Italian names, according to... why can't I speak today? According to Google.
Marco Polo.
Marco Polo. Show one more. What do you reckon the 5th most popular Italian name is?
Paul.
Content, by the way.
Paul.
I'm sure...
Aren't you glad you just subscribed to the video for this?
I'm sure... I'm sure that I'm not pronouncing this right, but it's Andrea.
I was going to say Paul. because I thought, you know,
Paul.
big Pope country, Italy.
You think Paul
Aye,
is an Italian name?
No, but sure, there's loads of John Pauls in Ireland after the Pope. Thought they might have done the same in Italy.
That's true. Yeah, my friends that are twins, Sean and Paul, were, I believe, named after the Pope.
They weren't named after R&B superstar Sean Paul, no.
Don't think their mom was that into Sean Paul at the time. But to be fair, at the time he would have been about 7, so probably quite influential in his neighbourhood even still at the time. Sean Paul seems like he was a real happening kid. Like
he'd get to meet Blue Cantrell, and that's really when his career took off.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just
I
nodding.
knew you didn't.
I'm just nodding. Yeah, but of course I know things. Is that so? What's the order you get in Giuseppe's?
See,
I can't fucking think about pizza anymore in fond terms. I feel like I see
the
it.
last time,
See
I
it
think
too
I
much.
told you this, the last time I was in McCann's properly having a few pints, and my cousin came in just randomly, and I was sitting drinking at the bar, and I was chatting to her. She's chatting about vegetarian.
Is
or
it sexist
veganism.
that when you said cousin, I was like, a boy? In my head. I forgot that girls can be cousins
It's
too.
just a product of the patriarchy, Nathan. You know, this is just the way we were
Man,
raised.
nah.
We were
What a
raised
bunch of
always,
bastards.
We were always raised to assume everybody.
Is a man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As my understanding of patriarchy goes, my limited understanding.
Is that everyone's a man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't see what the problem is. My cousin, and I was telling her about like, oh, it's really easy to be vegan now. Like, oh yeah, you know, it's fucking grand. You know, don't drink milk at all, and plenty of alternatives for vegan cheese. This is before they did the vegan pizzas in Giuseppe's. And then she's like, right, well, she stayed for a drink, and she's like, I'm way on here. We might be back in again. So I stayed on for a few more pints and then stumbled into Giuseppe's and decided to get myself, in my defense, a vegetarian pizza, but there was still cheese on it. But they came walking back in, then looked in the window and seen me like with a face full of pizza. They're like, oh, aye, veganism, is it going well?
There's a vegan pizza at Domino's that actually looks quite good. The vegan cheese that they have is quite
It is good. I
It's
had it here one day.
Delight, I think it's called, is the brand of cheese that they
I
use.
had it here after my run.
That's a real good follow-up to a run. I've really done my exercise today. I'm feeling good. What'll I do to fix that? I'll get a Domino's.
Vegan Domino's. Although
Yeah.
for all I know,
The vegan nuggets are really good.
Yeah,
Have you
they
had
were.
those?
So much so that I'd started to doubt that they were actually vegan as I finished the box.
Here's the
The trick is to ignore that voice in your head until you're finished,
Do you
and then start wondering what the
Do you want
possibilities
to know
are.
what the trick is to how they taste so good? The vegan nuggets. They're made from chicken.
What?
They're not. I was just codding. It was cod news. But yeah, no, because
Why do you ask?
I got into a chat the other day with some friends about chippies. That's for anyone from Cork. It's a chipper. But yeah, and I just can't find a decent chippy anywhere here. Like, I just think they're all terrible. They are, like, they're really bad. These are bad at it.
What's the different?
What is
when I
what is the
lived in
difference?
Galway, the guy I lived with, he was like, you Nordies all love your fucking fish and chips. I was like, you live in Galway.
You do love them, but you have set the bar remarkably low for yourselves. It's incredible. Like, I don't know what it's like in Oma now.
I would like to know what you think are the differences between a northern chippy and a southern chippy. And again, content.
Content, welcome. So
Any gigs?
the chips to begin with, I always find up here are just always not really cooked. They're like just cooked.
Everything I eat's just about cooked.
Yeah, you're a bad person to have this conversation with. But generally, like, I just find that they're like, and also I'm always pretty sure that they don't actually
Batter the fish.
Well, that also, even though there's one place in ours that does, which is why I like going there now. It's like, it'll do. But
They just rough them up a bit.
yeah. They're just like,
They never really commit it.
couple of nuggies and into the deep fat fryer with you. But no, the chips I think are like, I always see them like pouring them in from like a bag of frozen chips, and they're like pre-cut like chippy chips. But like, so like the one that we would have went to at home, like there'd always be like people at the back like peeling spuds and chipping chips like fresh from, whatever. Also,
Well, you know what I would say to that, Nathan? I would say, fuck off back home to where you came from.
there's going to be a
then.
lot of this now. You need to save that for the end, right? Because you can't say that every time I point out a difference, right? But no, and also I always feel like every time I go anywhere, they're serving me chips that have been sitting there for ages, no matter where I've been. And I've had every one of these chats that's like, people go, oh yeah, but you haven't been to such and such place on such and such road. And like, but no matter, and I always follow up and go to it, and like, it's fine, like, it's grand. The batter is where I feel a lot of the battles are being lost here.
Domino's employee destroys fish and chips
Destroys
in 5 minutes
and tanks Dogecoin at the same time. But yeah, the batter is like, I don't know if they use like a fucking cornmeal or something, but there's always like a weird graininess to the batter up here, and it's always floppy as fuck as well. It's never crispy ever, like anywhere I've been, ever. Like, they're really bad. Is there good chippies?
I'm sorry, Your Majesty.
Is there good chippy? Take this fucking seriously. I'm not trying to fucking get to the root of a problem here, and you're just like, haha, quips. Tell me about the good chippies. Where are they?
Top Nosh, you know, was good.
Top Nosh.
Top Nosh.
It's a good name.
It is a good name.
It is a good name. I enjoy a good. That is one thing now that
chippies have good. They like to play
names.
with puns. Yeah.
There's a place in ours called the Codfather.
Yeah, that's good. There's it's not a chippy, but there's a place in the Ormo Road, hairdressers called Curl Up and Die.
I've seen that. Yeah,
very good.
I do like it. Yeah, the one thing Northern Irish businesses do very well is a good pun.
Oh, I know. Look at him now trying to save
a
face.
Good pun name. You can't make chips to save your fucking life, but yeah. But I mean, why was I expecting to get good ones out of a salon in the first place? I don't know. Probably my mistake. Look at this now; it's getting worse.
For fuck's sake!
Sorry,
I was just listening to your
engaging story
your tirade about how you hate fucking chippies.
About the just like there's also things at home at home that you just get on a menu.
Look at the state of my fucking.
Have to bring
How long we've been going? 10 minutes.
Gonna get a Mad Notions bib for next week. There's also stuff in the menus at like down home that you don't get up here, which like a cheese and onion pie. Have you ever had a cheese and onion pie?
I'm vegan.
You weren't always vegan. Used to be fun. But no, it's like a potato.
You don't get pasties west of the ban.
That's true. To be honest though, you can keep them. They're all right. Like, have you ever had a pasty out of the chip company?
I've never had a pasty.
You've seen?
I don't know what it is.
No one knows what it is. Yeah. let's call it what it is.
Battered content.
It's stuff in a patty shape. But I remember I went to the chip company on Botanic once after playing in the Empire one night, and I was like, because when I moved up here, so what I would have gotten normally, my order for a chippy was a batter burger and a chips, cheese and garlic. Right, that was my order, and then I was like, I don't see batter burger on this menu, and then somebody was like, oh, it's a steakette. So I
have no idea what either of these things are.
It's basically like a quarter pounder in batter.
Right.
That's it, and it's tasty. Fuck up. But so
you know, is it made from a cow?
It is.
I don't want to know about
tasty, delicious,
friendly. Music appreciating, get going. Possibly.
Big fan of the trombone cow.
I think from my research, they're mostly seem to enjoy the accordion, which I think because it might emulate the sound of a cow or a baby cow. A little bit, you know.
That's a hot take.
Well, do your impression of an accordion or a baby cow.
Moo. He's right. He's right. It does sound like a cow. That was the first noise I thought when
just like imagine an accordion being decompressed. I have never been to a trad session in my life.
One of my favourite funny, quick, off-the-cuff remarks that I was doing a wedding once. I can't remember where we were, and my friend Keeney was on the gig, and I was like, wherever I parked the car, I was like, do you reckon I should lock the car? And he was like, oh yeah. He's like, a mate of mine, an accordion player, fucking didn't lock his car. Once he came back, there was two. Somebody left another one in the boot of the car. I was like, that's such a fucking specific joke. I love that. It's so good. But so I would have got a batter burger. I'm bringing it back. Because it's either this or I sob about the state of my career, Mick. So we're talking about chips. So we're staying on chips. But that was my one takeaway from last week. Is I'm an awful bollock sometimes, just talking about things.
Well, my takeaway was I was like the guy who's sitting there thinking he wants to be comfortable with his appearance needs a haircut.
Yeah. But you look well.
Thank you.
I do prefer your short hair look now, I'll be honest.
A lot of people do.
Yeah.
I think that's why I end up growing it. I'm like, fuck you.
Fuck you. You're not going to tell me how long my hair can be.
I go through wee notions where I'm like, maybe I should just lean into the madness of it and just go feral.
I feel like there's a halfway point with your hair, like where like I think like what it was last week for like, you know, personally
for about 6 months before and 6 months.
No,
previous.
but I think that's like too long. But there is a bit between this and what last week where I feel like it still looks cool, but definitely like
sometimes like when my hair and beard are long, like, you know, just give yourself the wee push, just go for it.
You always look like
go full feral. Like,
yeah. You always make me think like you must have been at a wedding or something recently when I see you.
Best thing. That's the nicest compliment anyone's ever told me.
Just like
because that's when people are at their most crack is the day after a wedding.
Yeah, they look their best, but they feel their worst.
That was something they actually said it to the Pogues for a photo shoot. They were like, I think it was for the "If I Should Fall from Grace from God" album, which is probably their best album. Is they were essentially saying like, you look, kind of channel that energy. The day after a wedding, go for that look. That's what you kind of look like. That's kind of what
That's a really good way.
And the photographer was like, that's kind of what I associate with Irish people.
Like racist, but it looks good. So carry on. Yeah, that's it.
The day after a wedding is.
I wish somebody could be that specific to me when they're trying to tell me what I should look like. You know what I mean? Like that's a really like. I feel like if somebody said that to me, I'd be like, I know how to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, what would you say? What would you say? Well, we'll go to the golden oldie. What do you say if you were to pitch Trav's current look to him before he had found it, in the same kind of vein of
Trav? So what does Trav look like? What is he?
Well, you have all his clothes, you'd know.
Yeah, but he only knows I've got the coat.
If you aren't buying Trav's music by now,
seriously,
I don't know how
getting so much free promo.
I don't know how we're getting this guerrilla marketing. If it could be any
He's paying
better.
us a fortune. I can't stand the guy. That's not true. I had that dream again where he flies in through the window and I'm wearing his coat.
Just caresses you.
Says the coat. Was I telling you that? I was down for my brother's 30th.
Oh, really?
And I was wearing. I might have told you this last week.
I don't think so. You didn't get a word in last week.
I was down. I was wearing a different coat, and a coat that was given to me by a mate Phil. It's a really nice coat. And I was down, and my dad was like, "I like that coat you're wearing." And I was like, "Oh, cheers, thanks." My mate gave it to me. He's like, "It's better than the other one you were in the last time you were down."
Which was Trav's one.
Which was Trav's. Goes, made you look like a tramp.
Was this your dad said? What the fuck would he know?
I feel like there's what I ever spent.
There's some clothes that just aren't for other people. You know what I mean? Like Trav did that photo shoot that time where he had like the mesh top on. I was like, can you imagine the state of my ditties? Like just like my big fucking the big old heft on me, like, and just like sitting. I wouldn't be able to get the posture right either. So I'd be kind of slouched, and you'd see all the rolls. And it would just be like, I'd look terrible.
Trav has excellent crossing the legs, folding the arms posture.
I'd love to fuck him. We need to.
I had a whole fucking outfit planned for this week, and Depop let me down. I had ordered a fantastic shirt,
and so you instead you were like, "What if me and the tablecloth were one?"
This is Orly's actually.
The top,
yeah, and I'm wearing a Joel Harkin bit of merch of it. I think this was him brushing his teeth, illustrated.
Looks like he's after
Deirdre.
messing.
No, he's got it right in there.
Just taking them out to clean off himself.
But oh god, there's a stain on this.
There's fucking stains all over you.
Stains everywhere.
Yeah.
But I had a whole. I've got into Depop in a big way. And I
What's
just
Depop?
It's like a.
Actually, there's my phone's not inside. Sorry.
It's somewhere between Instagram and eBay, I would imagine, but for specifically for clothes. So.
Oh, I've heard of this. Yeah.
And I had.
You told me about this actually, and I haven't.
I had
actually.
lovely trousers and lovely shirt and a nice pair of cons as well to match it off, and the cons were the only thing that came through. Unbelievable, Nathan. So I decided just to phone it in.
There's a website that I signed up to once called thread.com, and it was basically like the idea was like, so I hate buying clothes. I don't know anything really about like current up to date fashions, all this kind of stuff, and like basically the way it's sold to you is like you've essentially what I'm assuming we can all make peace with the fact that it is not, obviously I felt it's probably not a real person that's sending me recommendations for clothes.
Was it?
But the idea is like, so you at the start of it, like, do you know, like when you make a new Instagram account and it's like, do you like music, art, fucking whatever, and you kind of keep hitting these things.
No.
Until you, hate that. Do you like world peace? No. So yeah, and it was like, do you like this jacket? Do you like these shoes? And you kind of you do that for like 10 minutes, and then eventually it would be like, here's some suggestions or whatever. And then, you know, I kind of ignored it. Like mostly, it ended up being one of those things that just ended up in my inbox and my emails all the time.
Some person going, "Hey Nathan,"
that I would just ignore. And his name was Alex, right?
Poor Alex.
But I felt like there was no way that Alex was a real man. But then I was like, imagine if he was, right? And he never got to see me, right? But he's putting all this time into dressing me, and we'd never even met. You know, like, he's just some poor young fella now working in probably some fucking startup in wherever they're based. Brighton.
Probably fucking lying awake at night worrying about you.
He's like, Nathan's walking around just in some old shit, like, and I'm fucking sending him these cool hot
I can't
recs.
get fucking through them. I've been emailing him, trying to get a number.
Walking around,
picking up.
I'm worried that he's walking around, his clothes are bad. But then, like, I was thinking, like, we should both sign up to it, right? And then, this is not an ad, by the way. Well, it won't be by the time they dress us, I'm sure. They'll be trying to put as much distance between us and them as they can. Like, not for
this
you.
is actually an act of terrorism against our business.
But, like, I think it'd be a good crack to, like, sign up people that are just generally completely just like, because I wouldn't be into style too much, but I recognize it as an important step.
I have an alternative.
Obviously not today.
I have an alternative solution.
Okay.
Let me dress you.
Amazing.
Let's
just Orla's clothes.
This was to do with functionality.
I think it's adorable that you
I-
both fit the same clothes.
I always wear Orla's clothes. Like, I walk into town to meet her and she's like, I see you're wearing half my clothes again. I'm like, yeah, look good doing it too.
Just the left side.
I think we'll set aside some Patreon money we'll sign up to Depop and we'll pick outfits for ourselves.
For each other, you mean? Like, I'll dress you, you dress me?
No, I'll dress myself. I'm grand. I'm more than capable
clearly.
of steering that fucking ship away from rocks.
Yeah, it'd be too far to find the course again now at this point for you. But yeah. Well,
You know what? I'll not even buy them without you even saying it. I'll let you.
you'll be
them.
my new Alex.
Yeah, you can start ignoring me.
Yeah, I can start ignoring. But I'm already really good at that, so that's good. But
Do you like floral?
I
had a Hawaiian shirt on before I left, and I was like, no, this isn't functional.
No. Hawaiian things, Hawaii in general can fuck off. It couldn't be that relaxed. Everyone's walking around like every ad or anything that's ever been set in Hawaii, it's like, welcome to Hawaii, we're all good crack. There's got to be a dark side to Hawaii. Have you ever watched Dog the Bounty Hunter?
I was going to say Hawaii 5-0.
Oh, well, there you are.
The criminal underbelly of Hawaii.
Absolutely,
you know?
Bruh. But sorry, I just thought it might be funny for a minute if I pretend I had a really strong feeling about Hawaii, but I don't I don't really. No, I hate that shit. That reminds me of like Charlie Sheen for some reason.
Well, yeah, okay, fair enough. That's a negative connotation.
Yeah.
It's all about how you work it.
It is, to be fair, yeah. Do you know what it is? Like, I don't know, and maybe answers on a postcard, right? But I don't know, like, if you listen to my music and you haven't seen me, what do you think I look like? I'd be interested to know that.
This is a challenge.
I would be interested to know that. I mean, for most people watching this, they'll only finally figured out that I'm this one and you're that one.
Which is always outrageous to me.
It's absolutely hilarious, yeah. But that's because, like, do you know, like when you listen to a new artist, like you probably have it in your head, like you probably just conjure an image of like what they look like when they're singing or whatever. I would love to know what someone thinks I look like before, like dressing mostly. I don't want to get emails about how you were disappointed by my face, but like, but you know what I mean. Yeah. But like, if they were like, I always thought you'd be wearing this. You know what I mean?
Well, the cardigan, your music has a comforting feel to it.
Yeah, but is that because you've seen me wear cardigans
all the time? Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I had told you about that time that I had that meeting with Neil years ago, and the guy that was like branding. It didn't end up working out with that guy but I remember Neil going. He's like, you know, like I was like sitting off to the side and they were talking kind of more about me than with me just for the moment that they were having the chat, and he was like, obviously this guy that he has a relationship with already, and they were just kind of talking like, you know, shorthand kind of shop speak, and he's like, yeah, Nathan. He's like, you know, when I think of Nathan, I think of like, you know, cardigans and stuff. I was like, excuse me?
Knitting.
I was like, didn't know. And
Porridge.
I actually am currently wearing a cardigan, I know, but yeah, I remember that just kind of going like, am I the cardigan guy? God damn it.
It's an interesting, it's a difficult but interesting exercise to try and brand yourself. Like,
it's really hard.
Because as well, when it's for music, you're like, is this like for on stage? Am I looking an outfit for on stage? Am I looking for a look that I will be a performance look, or are you looking for a general overhaul of your whole entire wardrobe?
And then Emma said that thing about fucking white t-shirts and jeans, and that was on half my other ideas.
What did Emma say?
Do you remember that time she was like, oh, another fucking what was it, another like a male pop act with just jeans and a fucking t-shirt or whatever the fuck.
A point though, like
point made. Yeah.
Like, you know, there's so much. Although then, I mean,
sometimes someone has the ability to like say something in such a way that you're like, I'm such a basic.
Yeah, I mean, I get it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, anytime I'm recording, it's like, oh, here I go, another sad Irishman with a beard and his acoustic guitar sitting down to write a song.
Earlier on, whenever like you were on about that new tune ears, and the way you said E minor to me, you were like, E minor. Like you were like, I was like, I wonder, and you were like, E minor, obviously. It was so funny. I was like, and it was right, like, but it was. You were like, and then B minor.
But I went through a phase when me and Orla started going out. I had this notion that I was just going to get streamline my wardrobe and just have like black jeans
like
and a white t-shirt, like Bart Simpson.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd just be fucking. Think of all the things you don't have to think about, which was a really stupid thing. But now I'm like. Because I used to have I used to be a bit more flamboyant in how I dress, and I'm kind of rediscovering that again. Just a wee bit more.
Bit of purple.
I liked a bit of vintage, I liked a bit of rustling around the vintage shops from time to time. Tartan flares, you know. Bay City rollers, essentially.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I feel like I've only ever bought clothes for like, only ever just for function. Do you know what I mean? Just like, that's grand. I'll buy that. That's fine. Like, that doesn't look terrible. I hate anything with like, well, maybe here's what needs to happen. Maybe I need to stop shopping like nearly always just in Primark, because everything looks cool in the shop, and then you take it home and you wash it a few times, and then it looks like dog shit.
It disintegrates.
Yeah, it just starts to look like dog shit. Like I bought a really cool shirt.
Child labour is just not worth the.
Yeah. There's what are these fucking 4-year-olds doing? Making these shirts that fade in the wash.
Unbelievable.
It's ridiculous. It's hard to get staff, Mick. But yeah. I'd be interested now to know what people think I should look like.
I think send your graphic illustrations to madnotionspodcast at gmail.com. And again, we're not looking any critique on his face.
Yeah,
this is just the face that he's born with.
I can't do it.
He can't do anything with it.
I can't fix that now. Yeah.
I just caught a glimpse of him. I'm so pale looking.
We're fairly washed out. I'm a bit hungover.
We're struggling with he's hungover and we're struggling with the daylight.
Yeah. It was remarkably sunnier last week.
It was. I keep fucking sitting like Joey.
You're so freaked about that.
Well, I'm sorry. You weren't the one that got fucking piled
on.
on.
You bit back hard too. You bit back so hard.
See, the joke's on them because I get off on verbal degradation.
My dick was so hard. Opened up my phone. My dick was all hard. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, we'll probably know now for future reference, but like the idea that you'd be like, do you remember that meme? And then you try to recreate it, and then of course someone was going to screen grab that and turn you into it.
Tried to get the jump on it.
You did. You tried to get ahead of it, which I respected, but I don't think you did a good enough job of it, really.
Damage limitation.
Yeah.
Just fucked it out quick.
Yeah, you did. It's like straight away. You were like, I'll get there first. I'll get the funniest joke. God damn it. I'll get the funniest joke. But yeah, like, so the batter is like just. But no, I want to finish that point. Right?
Do you?
Because here's where I ended up with my friends the other day when we were talking about it, and they were like, "Yeah, but everyone thinks we're talking about chips again." By the way,
everyone thinks
that the one that was near where they grew up was the best one. But I remember once. So before I moved up here, I had been doing like a bit of writing with a guy that some people who listen to this might be familiar with, a guy called Matt McGinn, and he used to come down to Cork and we used to write some tunes. And I used to come up and stay with him in Belfast, and we'd do a bit of writing, whatever, before I moved up. And so we ended up like talking about, I was up here once, and I had been up a few times, and I was just like, do you know, one thing I'm like really struggling to find is like a decent chippy, like, and he was just like, oh boy, there's loads of great ones. And I was like, just the ones, the same kind of what we were saying a while ago, like the ones in Cork I just think are much better. And he was like, nah, you're just used to what you're used to. He was like, I'll tell you what is the best one ever, and he named some place that was close to where he was from, in Helltown or Newry or something. He's like, their chips are fucking incredible. He's like, there's nowhere in the world is better than them. And I was like, I'll tell you for sure, like, that the best chippy you'll ever have is from Jackie Lennox's on is it Barrack Street? I can't remember what street. It's up in Cork anyway.
Well, they better fucking send us some chips after this glowing
It
endorsement.
might be a bit cold by the time they get here, yeah, for sure. But I was like, just the battered stuff's incredible. The fucking chips are incredible. I was like, it is definitely it's the best chippy I've ever been to. And he was just like, nah, the one that I like is better. So I was like, I tell you what, next time we're down, I'll make sure that we make a trip out. And he was so staunchly like, nah, nothing will beat this place that I love. And I was just like, all right, well, go in with an open mind. And I'll never forget, we took the bag back out to the car, and he was sitting there, and he opened it up, and he took his first bite, and there was just silence. And he had another few bits. And I was like, well, and he was like, fucking hell. He's like, that is incredible. He's like, that is way better than like anywhere I've ever been. And I felt like that in that moment, a man as proud of where he's from as Matt McGinn could admit that chips in Cork are the best. Then I felt like that was, even Margaret, you've met Margaret, man. Oh, she does not like to give the South a fucking inch, boy, I tell you.
I think it's more just you.
Yeah, probably me. But I remember once flying back from Korea, and Margaret saying, I can't wait to get back home to the Irish, like to the Northern Irish food. And I was like, well, what did you miss the most? And she was like,
bread.
She was like, I'll say this. She was like, I would dare say that Northern Ireland has the best Chinese food in all the world. Which was an amazing statement for someone to say. And I was just like, but do you not think it's probably the best in China? She was like, no. I was like, you've never been to China. She was like, I can tell you right now that Northern Ireland has the best Chinese food in all of the world. And I was like, that is a fucking hot take. Like, that is, you've never even been there. But
and what's more is the Chinese right round the corner from the house that I grew up in.
Yeah, actually is the best. Yeah, exactly. But she was even like, because she used to work in a chippy, and she was like, oh no, the fucking ones up here are the best. And then whenever she went down to Cork, she actually, let me tell you how much she loved it. She woke up in the middle of the night once when we were staying in Cork and was like, I was like, you all right? And she was like, what time does Jackie Lennox's open in the morning? After having it. She was like, it's that good. You'd be dreaming about it. It's so good. Like, so when if we're ever in Cork together now, we're going to have to go, and you're going to have to call my bluff.
Have they greased your palm?
Yeah, quite handsomely.
Yeah,
but,
it's apparent.
But it really
35 minutes.
It really is. I just wanted that point to be made.
And just for once again, just as a clean take, the name is
Jackie Lennox's.
And if you say
chips for all the family,
and if you use the referral code madnotionspodcast, you'll get what? A free batter burger?
A kick in the hole probably, but I don't know. There's also a chippy near my mum where my mum grew up. Where we never really went, but I always thought it was cool that they did. So because it was like a chippy that was in like a kind of a not a very, very affluent area. You all right?
I'm just amazed that you're really I've never heard you talk so enthusiastically and passionately about
chips,
about anything really. But I'm just surprised it's come out in the form of chips.
You
know what it is? You're so clearly hungover. You've been talking about chips
just with love and grace.
It's so funny because you're not that. I rarely see you hungover. We rarely engage.
I'm not often hungover. I suppose I don't really normally get the. I made a good show of it yesterday, but yeah, I just love like good. Yeah, I suppose when you're hungover, you just want that fucking. Maybe that is what's happening. But I, to be fair, did make a note of this during the week before I was hungover. That's how sure I was. It was going to be gold standard content. But I always thought it was cool that place, anything, the one that was near where my mum grew up, anything that you ordered that was battered, they'd give you 2 of, because they knew that folks in that area didn't have a lot of money, so they were probably feeding a lot of people. So if you ordered like 4 battered sausages, you get 8. Etc. I thought it was really cool of them.
That is sound.
I thought it was really cool of them because they knew kind of what their local kind of folks were contending with. I thought thought that was a really, really nice thing to do.
I can't think of anything now to talk about other than chips.
Well, that's all I want to talk about.
Are you hungry?
I'm quite hungry. Let me ask you this as well, right? Let me just make sure. That did make me laugh, but it's probably it feels like a bit rude. I love in Ards, right?
Right.
There's a load of streets now that have, like loyalist things written, like banners and I keep biting my tongue. Ow. Like banners.
Speaking's not for everyone.
Also, by the way, is there anything hilarious? Is there anything more East Belfast than wishing someone happy birthday by draping a bedsheet over a railing at a junction?
I love that shit.
And it's never even like a big day. It's like happy 28th birthday to fucking whatever, and it's just hanging over a bypass. Really.
Yeah, it's for them catch them on their morning commute and send them off the road.
It's just written in like just someone scrawled in with Sharpie.
You have to squint, like you'd have to take your eyes off the road usually to read them. It's like whoever's fucking, and then they'd be like, off, career off. That's me.
Yeah, there's nothing more East Belfast than happy birthday on a bedsheet. That's some real shit there for sure. But what I do love, I was driving around a couple of places the other day, and I love, so like there's all these like chats about like, obviously like one of the biggest like bones of contention for a while here that led to the shutdown of our government for 3 years was the Irish Language Act. And obviously there's a lot of folks on the more British identifying side of the divide that don't, well, I never really got to the bottom, but essentially are anti-Irish Language Act for whatever reason.
It's mostly the political class. I don't think anybody for the majority of seeing fucking reasoned people who are of unionist persuasion, I don't think they have any problems with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's used as a political tool.
Exactly. It's always used to like at the heightened thing. It's those ones that call into Nolan and they're like, we'll not be having this and blah blah. But it does tickle me that that there's like places that are named, like, so there's like a place in Ireland called like Sleevemore Avenue, I think it's called, or something like that,
which is Irish for Big Sleeve Avenue.
Big Sleeve Avenue. Yeah,
that's where the wizards used to live historically.
But like it makes me laugh.
Unbelievable.
The wizards used to live historically. Yeah.
Big brilliant content.
I'm glazing.
Can you believe that just off the cuff? Off him a big
glazing
sleeve
over it,
and
like
you just ignored it. And yet he spent 35 minutes talking about fucking chips.
I was going to say I glazed over it with the confidence of a man who hadn't been talking about chips for 35 minutes. Like, let's get back to the premium stuff, Nick. But I can't remember where I was going with that. There was just
Sleevemore.
It just makes me laugh that there's like these areas that are like
overtly Irish or
like in name. Yeah. But yeah, just like I wonder, do folks know that that's like, it's just like an English spelling of the Irish words, you know what I mean?
It's like, funny, there's a thing that always gets regurgitated on Twitter of someone saying, like, someone with a Northern Irish flag and a crown in their fucking bio or whatever says, I will never speak that dead language. And someone who replied back saying, oh, Craig, because his name was Craig on it. I remember that. I'm not just pulling a name out of my arse that's loaded in some way. They were like, well, you speak it every day because it says in your bio you're from Belfast and, that's the mouth of the River Farset, sorry. And he was like, no, that's not why it's called Belfast. It's named after King Billy's horse who was called Bell and was fast.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's really fun. I don't know.
Is that what folks think?
No, well, that was what this particular person...
Is that what every loyalist thinks? You heard it here first.
That's what this particular person's response was. I was like, do you know
amazing.
What? I prefer that explanation. It's way more fun.
They were standing there like, what are we going to call this place?
You live in a city named after a fast horse? That's class. Sign me up.
How do you think Monaghan got his name? Well, there was another horse. But yes, I wanted to ask, can you do any impressions?
No, I know where this... I saw your tweet, Nathan, and I know where this is going. And let me just say that a Christopher Walken impression is a slippery slope.
Why?
Because...
I feel like I can do it now really well, right?
Well, first of all, let me answer your first question. Okay. I can't do impressions.
Well, I feel like that's why it would be funnier.
I've never, ever been able to do impressions, and no, it makes me uncomfortable. Are you gearing up to ask me to do an impression? Yes. You see me getting fidgety?
I think because it struck me. So the reason I got onto Christopher Walken was because
The Walken.
Yes, there was that, but also my mate Chris is just really fucking good at impressions, and it's always been something that I've like been like fair play. Like he's got an ear for it or something, like where he can really nail an impression. I feel like in my head I can do it. Like I can imagine the voice perfectly, but then like when it comes out, it like I need like specific phrases to hook onto, and they're never the ones like so. What's a classic Christopher Walken quote like from a movie?
And the watch up the hole one.
Yeah, your father. No, yeah. See, I can't do it.
As it's Pulp Fiction, as it's more commonly.
Yeah.
But in some rural areas of Tyrone, it's the film's known as the watch up the hole one.
But so like I can't like so Chris can also do a really good Michael Caine.
Right.
But, I mean, and he can do all the like you were on, I supposed to blah blah blah, all that shit, right? I can't do them very well. But what I did learn this week is that I can do a really good Christopher Walken impression
if he's saying something.
If he worked in Domino's, right? Okay. So the dough,
and it goes a little something like this.
It's really hard to like try and set it up in a natural sort of way. I thought I was nailing it.
I don't know if it's a bar, but Nathan's pivoting into like a variety show sort of, because now music's
I'm thinking of clips, man.
Yeah, music's still off the card, so he's taking his fucking one-man show out to the bumps.
But I wanted to see.
And it got me thinking. Christopher Walken?
I wanted to see if you could do.
No
impressions.
Like, and Nathan, I'll be honest with you, I don't even feel comfortable trying.
Well, that's why it'll be funny. That's if Christopher Walken was from Oma, right? And
you've got my attention.
And he didn't make such a balls of an Irish accent in Wild Mountain Thyme. Mm-hmm. What would he sound like? Because the inflections are the important thing with Christopher Walken.
See, I can't even hear him in my head.
Okay, so if he worked on Domino's. And he needed, so the sizes of the doughs are on different trays, and they all have a sticker on it corresponding to the sizes of the dough. So there's blue dough, red dough, green dough, and yellow dough.
I haven't followed any of this. I wasn't listening. I was just trying to think of his voice in my head, and I could see you listing out things. I was like, all I could hear is a ringing in my ears.
So if you need, so the person who's slapping pizzas in Domino's might shout that they need
slapping pizzas.
Yeah, you slap the pizzas. They don't spin them. Mm-hmm. They don't do it that way. They slap them. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's not get bogged down in the semantics. But so they might shout that they need red dough, right? And I was like, in my head, I was like laughing about that. And then I was driving around and I was like just trying for literally about 2 or 3 hours to like try and nail a Christopher Walken impression. So I feel like the key is to put the emphasis on the parts of the sentence that you wouldn't normally put the emphasis. Do you know what I mean?
See, I struggle with emphasis most of the time, and like
most of the time. And I often think to myself,
like, it's no secret that the way I conversate is like stunted and meandering at times, and I don't know where I'm going half the time. So it's really hard to. I can't hear Nathan. You're freaking me out. I can't even hear his voice in my head.
I can't hear his voice anymore. It's like you lost an old dear friend.
So say red dough.
So I feel like it's the inflection. So it's like wait.
Need an inhaler.
Right. So he goes I need red dough.
That's not bad.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I need blue dough.
That's good.
I feel like, so I figured out that if you, and I can only say those 2 lines, but if you put a hard D at the end of D, so it's like a need, right?
Ah, yeah, there's another way, you get another way lift out of it.
So there's that. And then again with dough, so I need red dough. That's a Christopher Walken working in Domino's, right?
Yeah.
Also, like when we needed more boxes.
A very, very, very specific instance.
A line he'll never. You remember that famous Christopher Walken quote? I need red dough.
Don't bring that out.
It was from the watch up the whole movie.
Don't bring that out to an audience yet, because the last thing you want is some audience interaction. They go, Chris, can I get a pepperoni, please?
No.
That's it, folks. Good night.
Thank you. But and then somebody showed it that they needed more wedge boxes, and I was like, I need wedge boxes.
Yeah, very
Right?
good. Yeah.
Boxes, you say boxes, and then you got Christopher Walken. But then I was trying to think of like other phrases that I could maybe challenge you to say in a Christopher. And the key here is that you can't do it.
Yeah.
So, but I can't think of any phrases. But like, so what would be a?
All I can see in my head now, right, is this is why I don't want to do this. Is because have you ever seen the video of your one from Little Mix trying the Jamaican accent? And she just goes, I wish there's no way we can bring it up. Is there like here? No.
It just skipped past it.
No way. But that's all she does.
She just goes, ow.
And I'm just like, I'm done trying impressions after I've seen that video. Because I've watched that video and laughed at it.
I want to tell you this, right? That the reason I thought it would be funny was counting on the fact that you couldn't do that.
Yeah, but I'm okay. What do you want me to say?
So what would be like you used to do the milk deliveries with your dad?
Yeah.
Okay, so what would be like a phrase from the days of delivering milk? Like what?
Got some milk here for you.
Here we go. Got some.
I need you to coach me through it though.
Well, I'm obviously an expert, but
Sorry, I love the fact my phrase has got some milk here for you. We didn't talk much, me and Dan, in the van. Like.
Oddly, that didn't. That was the original route from the how we ended up with got milk, but
it's not as snappy, is it? That was the first draft.
The souvenir shop in Oma must be
got
just full
some
of
milk
really
here for you.
just really wordy t-shirts.
Here, I've got some milk for you. Here.
Frankie says, "Calm the fuck down, boy." Right, it's gonna be. Yeah. So if you're gonna do it like in the you're sweating.
Because I know what these cunts are going to do. As soon as I know what they're going to do, and I don't want to give them the ammunition. Somehow along the way,
work on one?
Somehow along the way, I became fair game to absolutely rinse in the Facebook chat, in our Facebook group.
Oh, don't worry, it'll be me.
And just because they're degrading me, then they throw fivers at me and make me dance for them.
And you're like, oh, okay. How about this? Will you agree to work on 2 solid phrases in a Christopher Walken accent for next week?
Let me try and repeat yours. The red dough one.
The red dough one?
Yeah.
Right, so I need...
I
don't know why the hand is important either. I've just realised that I'm doing that as well.
You're doing that.
I need...
It's not even Italian. I need. I sound like Woody Allen.
I need red dough.
I sound like Woody Allen. I need
red dough. No, red dough.
This is insufferable to listen to, I imagine.
Red dough.
Why are you doing this with a hand?
Because I can't do it otherwise. Watch it. I need red. See, I can't.
Let me hold your hand.
Don't fucking touch me. Or else you could say wedge boxes. Wedge boxes.
Wedge boxes. That was alright.
That was okay. Yeah. There's
I see what you mean about the hand.
Yeah. It's easier. But then in work during the week.
Stop doing this.
I wonder what they're going to do with that, Nick. Yeah, and then in work, then I would only. So if people were calling for dough, I would only go for it if they did it in their best Christopher Walken
must be
impression.
a fucking
I'm
delight
an
to
awful
work
cunt to work for, work with now. Yeah. And then there was a Scottish girl, Jo, who listens to the podcast. Hi, Jo. She and I made her do it, and she was like, "I need red dough." I was like, "A for effort. I'll get it, Jo." But yeah, I wish I could do more impressions.
I'm terrible.
I can't really do. I can do like some English accents.
I can't do any
I've bitten
accents.
my own tongue now about 7 times in the course of this podcast.
As I say, talking's not for everyone.
It's tough out.
Well, the moment you chat, odds are you're going to bite your tongue a few times.
It's crazy. I haven't done myself more injuries by now. But yeah, no, I just wish I could do more impressions. I feel like it's a real fun thing to be able to whip out.
I can't do any, and that's why any aspirations I may have as a actor at any stage in my life. I feel like, can he be from Oma? Can he change this role that he's from Oma?
I feel like I remember watching. Was it Dana Carvey's the guy out of Wayne's World, right?
Yeah.
He had a special on Netflix like a year or 2 ago, and obviously like he's known for his impressions. But I feel like it's a kind of double-edged sword because it felt like by the time he got around to doing this, like the whole show was just engineered around trying to find ways to shoehorn in impressions, and it was kind of shit. Then I feel like they're funnier. Like I wouldn't want to watch a full show of someone doing like just impressions of people. But
it is one gag, sort of.
It is a thing. Yeah, it's good to be able to I wish I had a really good Bill Clinton. That feels like a really fun impression to be able to do. No, I can't even remember his voice now.
Well, yeah, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Isn't that his famous?
I did not have sexual relation. No, see, it turns into something like Woody Allen. It turned into Woody Allen.
Well, we all know no.
What? Oh, we all know what he was up to. Oh, yeah, gonna get all those big staunch Woody Allen supporters on our back. But yeah, it just made me laugh. The thought, and I feel like I was right in my assumption that you couldn't do impressions.
Yeah.
And well,
there's not much you can do, Nathan. Find myself wondering, what am I good for? Often.
Absolutely nothing. But yes, I also I feel like I'd written something else down. I don't know, but I can't remember. It was just a note for myself. I wrote down best chippy. And then impressions. Oh, also the BBC gospel show guy makes me laugh so hard. I sent you that during the week, didn't I?
I didn't listen.
That's so rude. It's
I didn't expect it to come up again. I wasn't expecting it to appear on the test.
There's a guy that does a show on a Sunday on BBC. It's like
I was thinking of Downtown Radio Gospel Hour, by the way. I was thinking of something completely different.
Oh, really?
Which used to be the radio that was on a Sunday night when we'd be driving home from my granny's. And I used to fucking hate it.
Why?
From Fenton at Oma. Just because I was like 9 and it was Gospel Hour and it was all Can
you do an impression of the guy? He's from Oma. It should be in your wheelhouse.
No.
Oh, he wasn't from Oma. It was just when you were in Oma.
And all the music was all like American gospel country and it was fucking brutal.
But was it like religious country, you mean? Like that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Like found Jesus in my pickup truck.
I found Jesus, boy. Yeah. I mean, like,
What was he doing in the bloody pickup truck? Jesus.
I had to sing.
Or did he find him out in his pickup truck? Like, was he out driving and he found Jesus?
These are all very important questions. We should bring it up the next meeting.
I don't even know if it's a real song. I just use it as an example, but I'm pretty sure it is.
Jesus Take the Wheel?
No, I found Jesus in my pickup truck.
Is that a real song?
Couldn't tell you.
glad we got to the bottom of that. Yeah, no, there's a guy. I found myself like fascinated. We were talking about it a little bit earlier briefly, but radio voices just. Like some of them are amazing. Like some of them, like we were saying, like Philly has like a very natural radio voice. I was imagining like it must be quite difficult to, like, obviously this is different. Like we're just chatting.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like,
you wouldn't put this in the radio.
No, we've tried. They won't.
Yeah, they really won't.
They really won't do it.
They're dead against it.
100%. Yeah. I feel like maybe that one that we did with Riggsy that time was like a trial, and he probably went back and was
like, "No, they're not ready. They're not match ready.
They're not ready at all." Never even got to plug my thing. But yeah, and then I was thinking, like, do you end up like? I wonder how people arrive at their radio voice. Do you know what I mean?
It's like honing, it's like sculpting from rock until you have a palatable, smooth transatlantic.
Because I feel like this guy that does that Sunday show on the BBC has just... I would love to hear him read the saddest news. I'm sorry.
Be careful now. Remember the last time we called out a BBC presenter?
There's no way this boy listens to this. There's no way. Who's sending me... I had this turned to silent. Oh no, I turned it off for the Little Mix thing. Sorry. I'm not mocking him. I just feel like he's an incredible delivery. I'm fascinated by it. I can't remember what his name is, but
let's hear it.
Do you want me to get it?
No, let's hear your impression of it.
Oh, it's just always up here. No, I can't do it.
I was really hoping you'd just go straight into walk in there.
Yeah. Welcome to the Gospel Hour. Yeah, I feel like it's getting worse. I had it at the start.
Yeah, it's getting worse.
It ended up coming into my head. And just like, does it feel like? I've always wondered, like, are those voices, because there's like classic examples of like people that just have like there's like the American joke always of like, there's like, hi and welcome to the radio. You know what I mean? Like those guys. And then obviously they must get out of the radio station and just be like, fucking hell, like fucking like, and talk normally. But then like, it's like, how did they arrive there? Was it from the producer being like, more this, more that?
Probably. Well, I remember here, like a lot of presenters on radio from fucking whenever throughout to the fairly modern day was all geared towards the audience was like housewives at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it was like probably you're trying to refine whatever your voice is to suit. You're being probably told by your producer, this is who your audience is, this is your
Right.
demographic is.
Yeah.
Hone your tonal style to appeal to that. You know?
I've always wanted to present there was a show, I think it was an RT. There's actually a fella on the BBC that has the exact voice as well for it as well. I don't know if he does that show or like a similar show, but you know that like a late night drive time voice. Do you ever? And it's like, hello,
I'm just
hello, and welcome.
lying in my togs here.
Just lying down here now.
Got the lava lamp on.
Gonna play a little bit of the new Norah Jones album here now, just to keep you awake on your travels.
15-year-old Nathan stubs out a cigarette.
This leaving cert's or this junior cert's gonna kill me. But yeah, I've always thought that must be a fun job. Just to
Would you ever want to do radio, like broadcast radio?
Yeah, I feel like I would enjoy it for sure. I would like to do some sort of a version of like songbook on the radio. I feel like that would be fun.
Why don't we just take this and do that?
And do songbook here?
Yeah.
But like
I'll stay on the road.
But like a broadcast?
Yeah.
Here?
Yeah.
Audio only?
Video?
Yeah. We could. It's true. We do have the facilities.
We
here
do
for it.
have the facilities.
We have the technology.
We can build it.
We can build it.
If we build it, they will come.
We can make it better.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's certainly an idea for sure. Like I've always thought that. So I think as a radio show it could work really well, and then I have wanted to like pitch it as like a limited series for like a TV show.
Well, why don't we pilot it here?
Could do. How does that work? Piloting something like so? Do you
Pilot's just almost like a proof of concept. I mean, a lot of the times for scripts, you would try you. It depends where you are in your career, but like a lot of people will start off and they'll write the script for free just as a passion thing, ship it out to producers, and producers might, if it's a production company, they have the funds, they might option it, and that gives you the chance to kind of develop it, and maybe rewrite the script, hopefully get it shot, and then it essentially works as open an episode / proof of concept. So if you were to be able to film something and make it look really good in here and say, look, we have here's the proof of the concept. If you give us money, we can even make it better.
So then I feel like the thing that we did over Christmas that time, probably, obviously it's quite long, but like, you know, if we could tidy that up into like an hour, like I feel like that is the only thing really missing from that is like an audience. Do you know what I mean? But like, because you know that kind of other voices kind of thing, like down in Kerry and stuff.
Say no more. You want me to host? That's grand.
You can be the guy. You can be the guy with the cue cards and all.
Stand outside with the microphone and Trav's coat.
Hello.
We're here at the vault.
Come on down. Sometimes you'll have to take a shit next to people and you'll hear them and someone will open the door. I'm not talking about personal experience from earlier whenever I was trying to have a shit and somebody walked in and made me feel very uncomfortable.
There's a lot more discomfort where that came from in this culture.
But yeah, no, I would. You've kind of had a couple of like radio-y ideas before and kind of ventures. I don't know if you can talk about them, but like,
what do you mean? Like
you did like a pilot thing with.
Like an audio sketch show. It's in consideration at the moment. Like,
oh, but I thought you had like pitched a show. That wasn't. It wasn't the sketch show. I thought.
I was working on a show that had like sound design on another show, but
oh, okay, sorry, I must have heard you there at the time.
But then you can just go like, you just got to keep an eye out for opportunities and stuff, and like subscribe to all those newsletters, NI Screen, whoever you think. It's all just chasing, trying to find a source of money. You know.
Is there any show that's like currently on the radio that you'd love to be the host of?
No.